Graduate College. Sue 9 Education.
Marshall. Good morning, and please remain standing. With the Marshals' placing of the University Mace, we officially open the 2025 Winter Commencement exercises at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Our graduates and students, members of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents, and UNK faculty, administration, and staff are pleased to welcome you. To begin our ceremonies, Richard Harbles of Kearney will perform the national anthem. Richard is the son of Robert and Lauren Harbles. He has earned a Bachelor of Music education with PK-12 endorsements in vocal and instrumental music. During his time at UNK, he was involved in several choirs and competed as a high jumper on the track and field team. Richard looks forward to a career as a music educator, inspiring students through his passion for music and performance. Our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Richard and Dr. Kim, thank you. It is my pleasure at this time to introduce Neil Schnorr, the 10th Chancellor of the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Chancellor Schnorr.
It's a great day at the university. Candidates, distinguished guests, faculty and staff, families and friends, it is my privilege to welcome you to our winter commencement. Candidates, today we celebrate both a milestone and a beginning for you. As a milestone, we honor your many achievements. As a beginning, we formally recognize that you have earned the rights and privileges commensurate with your degree. Your investment and your perseverance place you in rare company. In the most recent U.S. Census, among all adults in the United States, aged 25 and older, a bachelor's degree was the highest degree attained by just 23.5%, and a master's degree by only 14.4%. Throughout your lifetime, your investment will pay countless professional and personal dividends, and you will enrich the communities in which you live. I always remind our graduates that today is also a day to be grateful to the many who have supported you on your journey. Faculty, who are exemplary scholars, educators, artists, and mentors, staff who exhibit the utmost professionalism in providing student-centered support. Will all faculty, faculty emeriti, and staff who are in attendance please rise so we may recognize you. Today, you're also joined by proud family members and friends who have supported you through every phase of your journey. Will you all please now help thank those people who have supported you on your journey? Graduates, I am confident your UNK education has equipped you well for the future. With that privilege comes the responsibility to honor Nebraska's investment they have made in you. Sharing your time and talents with others, being a leader in your profession and community, serving the public good in your community and state, and staying connected to your UNK family. Today, we are pleased to be joined by Regent Paul Kearney of Amherst and our UNK student regent, Sam Schroeder of Seward. It is now my privilege to introduce the Honorable Regent Paul Kearney to bring greetings on behalf of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents.
Good morning. On behalf of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents, it is a pleasure to join you today for Winter Commencement. My name is Paul Kearney, and I extend a warm welcome to all of our graduates, their families, friends, faculty and staff, and all distinguished guests here today to mark an important occasion. To our graduates, today represents a culmination of dedication, perseverance, and hard work. You have met the challenges, adapted to change, remained committed to your goals. The moment reflects not only you, what you have achieved, but the character and resilience you have developed along the way. You have made me and the university very proud. Commencement is both a celebration and a beginning. As you move forward into the professions, advanced study, service, you will do well to be prepared with knowledge, skills, and valued through your education at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. You're still prepared to contribute meaningfully to lead with purpose in your communities, your state, and beyond. To the families and friends, supporters that are here today, thank you for your encouragement and support you have provided through this journey. Your role for these accomplishments cannot be overstated. On behalf of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents, congratulations to the winter class of 2025. We look forward to see what you achieve. Best wishes for each of you as you begin your next chapter. Go Lopers.
Thank you, Regent Kearney. At this time, I would like to invite Trish Danberg, Interim Vice President of Alumni Relations and Development, UNK, and Director of UNK Alumni Engagement, to share an alumni message from the University of Nebraska Foundation.
Good morning. On behalf of thousands of UNK alumni and donors, congratulations on reaching this important milestone. This isn't just the end of a journey, it's the beginning of a lifelong adventure as part of the Loper family. I hope that your time at UNK has been filled with unforgettable moments, transformative education, new friendships, and plenty of fun. The best news? Your UNK story isn't over. As the newest members of the Alumni Association, you're part of a global network of Lopers who are passionate, proud, and always ready to connect. We encourage you to stay involved, whether it's through campus events, alumni gatherings, or simply sporting your blue wherever life takes you. Trust me, Loper pride travels well. Kearney may have been your home for just a few years, but being a Loper means carrying that sense of community and a responsibility wherever you go. The friendships you've made and the lessons you learned will shape your journey ahead. And remember that the Alumni Association is ready to support you, helping you sustain your connections with each other and the university, building new connections and developing your career. I have one simple request for each of you. Keep your Loper spirit alive. Wear your blue, share your story. Never hesitate to say hello to fellow alumni and find a way to give back to the next generation of UNK students. This community is special because of individuals just like you, and I can't wait to see the incredible things that you will accomplish. Congratulations, and welcome to the UNK Alumni Association, and welcome to the next chapter of being a Loper for life.
Thank you, Trish. Each commencement, UNK faculty, administration, and staff are invited to nominate students to share graduate reflections. Today's speaker is Isaac Anderson of Shelton. Isaac is graduating cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. He is joined today by his wife, Kelsey, and their son, Jack, whose love and support have meant so much throughout his journey. Isaac is a Kearney native and Elm Creek High School graduate who entered the U.S. Army immediately after graduation, serving 4.5 years as an infantryman and rising to the rank of sergeant. His service included a 9-month rotation in South Korea and multiple commendations for leadership and excellence. After completing his military career, Isaac and his wife Kelsey settled in Shelton, where he began pursuing a business administration degree with an emphasis in accounting at UNK. He has excelled academically with a 3.77 GPA while gaining valuable professional experience and currently works at AMGL. Isaac is also active in his community, having served on the Village of Shelton Board of Trustees and as a member of the American Legion. This year, he and Kelsey welcomed their first child, Jack. Following graduation, Isaac will begin UNK's MBA program and plans to sit for the CPA exams. Please join me in welcoming Isaac.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Got to say, this whole thing has really done a number on my already inflated ego, so thank you. I know I'm not the top of the class, and I am definitely not a public speaker, so that tells me that at least someone found my story worth sharing, so I'll give it the best I can. But you'll have to bear with me. This is the first thing since I've been here that I've had to write without ChatGPT, so just kidding, just kidding. Hello, everyone. My name is Isaac Anderson, but my family and friends call me Ike. I'd like to share a few lessons that I've learned along the way at UNK, but first, a little background for context. Growing up, I was a class clown and a troublemaker. I graduated from Elm Creek in 2017, and if you ask anyone who knew me then, and frankly a lot of people who know me now, they'd probably wonder why I'm giving this speech, and I don't blame them. Most parents told their kids to stay away from me. However, there was one person I couldn't stay away from, and her name is Kelsey. I knew from a young age that I wanted to join the Army, which meant moving away. That didn't scare Kelsey at all, and that's how I knew she was a one. But I'm also reminded every day because she still lays out my clothes and packs my lunches. I took the ASVAB seriously because I wanted a military job that would translate into something useful afterwards, but a very convincing recruiter told me that the infantry was pretty cool. So shortly after high school, I was off to train to be what my friends endearingly call a nose picker. I got good test scores, but I obviously wasn't the brightest decision maker. It turns out picking your nose isn't exactly useful in the civilian world, which explains why my degree is in accounting and finance. After training at Fort Benning, Georgia, I was stationed at Fort Bliss, Texas, and Kelsey and I got married almost immediately, just like every other young, dumb private does. And we got a dog. On a weekend trip to New Mexico, we found German Shepherd puppies in an Albertsons parking lot for $20. So Gunnar went on to live in 3 more states with us and traveled through many more. Shortly after we got Gunnar, I was leaving for a 9-month rotation to Korea, so my in-laws were really enthused to hear they'd be temporarily adopting him. Korea was a great experience, and after returning to the US, I eventually ended up at Fort Riley, Kansas. My military career didn't amount to much, and it didn't come with the heroic war stories. My highlights are more like my platoon mate being hauled off in an ambulance after drinking too much soju in South Korea, or when Papa Roach came over there to play a concert for us, and the taxi driver yelled at us the whole way while we made some questionable decisions in the back seat. There was the MPs were security, and they told us all, don't start a mosh pit, so obviously everyone's gonna start a mosh pit, and they were in there choke slamming people in the concert. It was crazy. By the way, for any of you frat guys here, I promise the barracks get way crazier. So after moving back, I enrolled at UNK the very next semester. I chose accounting and finance because I thought that studying money would just automatically make you wealthy. But I was taught how to build a very precise budget and that wealth doesn't actually work that way. Looking back, I wish I had embraced campus life more. I didn't really attend sporting events or join organizations. I was focused on work, responsibilities, and filling my schedule while trying to maintain my grades. But eventually that pace caught up to me. Last summer, Kelsey told me she was pregnant, and my life changed forever. Most notably, I haven't had a full night's sleep since. I would spend nights reorganizing the garage until 2 o'clock in the morning, like that was somehow gonna prepare me for fatherhood. Jack was born on March 2nd, right in the middle of the semester, and 2 days later, we learned that our dog Gunnar had aggressive cancer that we couldn't treat. Might sound silly, but he was our first baby, and knowing that we would lose him was a pretty heavy cloud over us until we said goodbye to him last month. Jack had his own challenges. During finals week, we learned that he had a fairly rare condition called craniosynostosis, where the bones in his skull fused too early. Within a week, we were in Omaha for surgery, which almost literally meant sawing his forehead in half, followed by a night in the PICU and months of helmet therapy. But I'm happy to share that Jack's head is perfectly shaped now. He had his own graduation last week, and he's officially helmet-free. Thank you. This is usually where I'm supposed to tell you about what I learned at UNK, but honestly, neither you or I want a rundown of the financial ratios. What I truly learned came from outside the classroom, that no lecture could have prepared me for the heartbreak of putting my best friend down, or the anxiety I felt handing my 3-month-old son over to surgeons I had just met. I didn't fully embrace the student life, like I said, but I did have a couple memorable experiences. One was competing in an official NASCAR-sanctioned college iRacing event, representing UNK and racing for scholarship money. I finished almost dead last, but it was still pretty cool. And now that I've embarrassed myself by admitting I'm a NASCAR fan, I will also expose Dustin Favinger as one too, because he helped make all this happen, so thank you. I also participated in the Student Managed Investment Fund, pitching real stock trades that will someday fund UNK scholarships. Now, Dr. Hayes should fact check me, but I think our class might have been the first one to underperform the S&P 500. So I learned that maybe I shouldn't give investment advice, but I'm gonna do it anyway. My advice to everyone here is simple: invest in yourself. That idea isn't new. Warren Buffett said it. We heard the Chancellor talk about it. And while I'll never have Warren Buffett's money, I think I understand wealth a little better now. He would say to get a diploma or learn a valuable skill, and while that matters, and we should all be proud of it, the diploma doesn't tell the story of who you really are. I learned that all those hours I was working was paying the bills, but they didn't build real wealth. In fact, I was wealthy all along. I just couldn't slow down enough to notice. It was in Jack's bright blue eyes on a Sunday morning while Kelsey cooked him breakfast, or in Gunnar's tail wagging while waiting for some scraps. So when I say to invest in yourself, here's what I mean. Take your dog for a walk. Take your kid fishing. Learn to cook something. Talk to your neighbor. Learn to say no. This is a big one. Separate yourself from whatever's holding you back. Learn something new about yourself. Try a hobby you've always wanted to learn. Tell your family you love them and hug them. Time is the most valuable resource we have. Do not waste it. But remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourselves, and the rest will take care of itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. Congratulations on this special day. Chancellor Schnorr and Dr. Julie Schaefer, Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, will now present the Leland Holt Security Mutual Life Distinguished Faculty Award.
The Leland Holt Security Mutual Life Distinguished Faculty Award is presented annually at Winter Commencement. The award honors alumnus Leland Holt for his leadership at Security Mutual Life. Established by Mr. Holt and Security Mutual Life, the fund provides a $5,000 stipend to a faculty member who demonstrates excellence in teaching, research, and service. This year's recipient has been a member of UNK's faculty since 1996 and is known for bridging academic learning with real-world experience. Students have long noted the impact of his approach. One early student wrote that his ideas were based on real-world experiences and really made me think, a sentiment echoed across decades of evaluations. His enthusiasm for teaching is unmistakable. One student shared that he is always ready to go, in a good mood and enthusiastic to teach, while another noted that although his courses were strict and hard, they helped me learn a tremendous amount. Many students credit him with shaping their careers and confidence. One wrote, "Great job preparing me for the real world. My writing and presentation skills have increased greatly." Another said his teaching made me excited about my future. More recently, a cybersecurity student highlighted the impact of his experiential approach. "This is my favorite cyber course. It showed what work environments really look like through shadowing and networking." His leadership in revitalizing the cyber systems department was pivotal. At a time of declining enrollment, outdated structures, and faculty loss, he rebuilt the program's foundation. He modernized the curriculum, strengthened industry partnerships, and created clear pathways for student success. Through comprehensive assessment data, he improved courses, aligned learning outcomes, and demonstrated program effectiveness. Most notably, he led the department through a highly successful ABET re-accreditation, compiling documentation and ensuring all standards were met or exceeded. The re-accreditation affirmed the program's quality and positioned cyber systems for long-term stability, growth, and national recognition. Beyond the department, he has served on nearly 100 committees, led major accreditation efforts, and contributed to regional and national professional communities. His service on the board of directors for Aurora BoardWorks reflects his commitment to advancing technology and opportunities in Nebraska. His career reflects extraordinary dedication to student, impactful scholarship, and visionary leadership. His contributions have shaped programs, inspired countless students, and strengthened communities across the state. Professor of Cyber Systems, Dr. Tim Obermeyer, it gives me great pleasure to announce that you are the 2025 recipient of the Leland Holt Security Mutual Life Distinguished Faculty Award. Would you please come to the podium? Congratulations. Thank you for doing so much for so many.
It's now my privilege to introduce a good friend, our commencement speaker, Mr. Jonathan Watts. John is the University of Nebraska's first Chief Operating Officer, a role created to align business operations with the university's strategic vision. He works across the system to strengthen operations and ensure our campuses remain learner-centered and forward-looking. John is a native of Kearney. He brings extensive experience from both public and private sectors. He spent more than a decade at the University of Nebraska at Kearney, rising from Assistant Director of Business Services to Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance. During that time, he oversaw more than $290 million in capital projects, including new residence halls, a state-of-the-art STEM facility, and the Douglas A. Christensen Rural Health Education Complex. He also played a key role in developing University Village, a 104-acre initiative that continues to transform our campus and community. John's impact extends beyond facilities. He championed efforts that increased scholarship funding and reduced average student debt by more than $4,000. His leadership has been recognized with honors, including the Kearney Area Chamber of Commerce Young Professional of the Year and the Kearney High School Distinguished Graduate Award. A proud University of Nebraska-Lincoln alumnus with a master's degree from Bellevue University, John and his wife Erin are the parents of 3 children, daughter Ava, a freshman at UNK, an honors program scholar, and sons Brody and Mason, who are all here today, along with his mother, Evelyn. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our very good friend, John Watts.
"21 years ago, I sat in a cold metal folding chair in a health and sports center just like this one, waiting for my name to be called, just like you today. I knew it was a big day. I had no idea, though, what earning a degree how it would shape the rest of my life. I remember wearing a black thrift store suit I had bought the week before. I remember the pants were too big, and I had to fold them over with a safety pin and hide the whole operation under a belt. I also stayed up late, trying one last attempt at tying the perfect tie. My great-grandfather, all through high school, would tie my tie. He passed away my sophomore year. I share these memories because I hope you are completely absorbed in this day. I remember feeling a lot of feels in that chair. Overwhelmed, proud, nervous, grateful, mostly relieved. I never took for granted the opportunity to attend college, and I never assumed graduation was guaranteed. I'm sure many of you feel the same way. During my first semester in general biology, Bios 101, on the first day of class, I will never forget, the professor said that classic but intimidating line, "Look to your left, look to your right, one of you won't be here next year." It was dramatic, not something our faculty would say, but it resonated with me, especially since my brother Chris had spent most of high school yelling at me to get up and get to school. Over the next 4 years, I approached every class and every semester with respect and with a quiet fear that never quite left me, that the next class would be the one that I couldn't pass, that my effort wouldn't be enough, that procrastination would finally catch up with me. I still, as an adult, occasionally dream about showing up to class unprepared. With all this on my mind, I'm deeply humbled and grateful to Chancellor Schnorr for inviting me to share in your day. I was fortunate enough to sit next to Chancellor Schnorr when he was the senior advisor to retired Chancellor Douglas Christensen. and I served as Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance. During that time, I came to admire his steady mind and his fierce drive. There is a disciplined fire that fuels everything he does. And much of that fire comes from an unrelenting belief in the power of public education to change lives. I stand here before you today because student-centered public education changed my life. My mother, Evelyn, arrived in Kearney to begin a nursing job at Good Samaritan Hospital, eager, I imagine, to take on the world, only to learn she was facing an unexpected pregnancy. Shock, fear, and uncertainty must have overwhelmed her. And those emotions likely intensified when she learned that she would be a single mother of twin boys. My brother Chris and I were probably never described to anyone or by anyone as a bundle of joy. Yet, my mother persevered, both as a parent and a nurse, retiring after 43 clinical years of service at the hospital. From her, I learned that work is about service, not status. That work is about service, not status. As the songwriter and modern prophet Jelly Roll puts it, I am the man my mama raised. During my senior year of college, I earned an internship with a large private corporation in Lincoln, with the understanding that strong performance would lead to full-time employment. It was the carrot at the end of the stick all of us dream about. One day, while working on customer rate sheets, a coworker came through the office replacing light bulbs. As he climbed the ladder to replace the bulb above my desk, I had a profound moment of clarity. I hated my job. It was an odd position to be in. My coworkers were kind, and they'd all had years of dedicated service. They enjoyed their work. And as far as I could tell, I was doing well at the task assigned to me. But I was miserable. So at 22, I made a conscious choice to pursue work that felt meaningful, even if it meant starting with an opportunity to change light bulbs. I resigned from that internship the next day. I will not pretend that that conversation went well. There were no congratulatory handshakes or words of encouragement, only disappointment. But for me, relief. What would follow was rejection letter after rejection letter for dozens of jobs I applied for. When I finally landed an interview for a job I truly, truly wanted, I didn't get it. I still wrote a thank you note. 2 months later, the hiring manager called. Was I still interested? I found work I enjoyed, and I have been in pursuit of meaningful work ever since. In 2010, Jane Sheldon, then Director of Business Services and today Associate Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance, took a chance on a Kearney guy who was living in Boise, Idaho with his family. She offered me the opportunity to join her team at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Meaningful work. I will never forget that call. I was sitting in the car at Daylight Donuts parking lot, overwhelmed with gratitude and excitement to be returning to my hometown university. I told Jane, and I meant it, when you hire me, you hire a team. For nearly 19 years, my wife, Erin, the girl I met at the Big Apple, not the city, the bowling alley, has been the center of our family, choosing to be a stay-at-home mom. Her work has never come with a title or a paycheck or applause, unless you count some random applause from toddlers at one point, probably. But she carried the weight. She carried the weight of early mornings, late nights, school drop-offs, packed lunches, and homework questions. When opportunities came my way, she made our home a place of stability, love, and grace. As I reflect on my career, one I hope is far from over, my heart is filled with gratitude. Gratitude to God for his grace, and gratitude for the many people, many of them in this room, then and now, who have shaped my path. After navigating the challenges of undergraduate degree, working with people who are both wonderful and at times annoyingly difficult, surviving group projects where half the team disappeared and the other half wanted complete control, I learned something important. A degree doesn't entitle you to opportunity, but it protects you from being limited. A degree doesn't entitle you to opportunity, but it protects you from being limited. As my career progressed, I came to understand that the true value of a degree often reveals itself over time, and rarely in the ways we expect. A year ago, I left my role as Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance to join Nebraska-based Allo Communications. I did not leave UNK because I did not enjoy this work. I left because leading through repeated historic budget cuts, especially at an institution in a community I care deeply about, takes a toll on a person. When decisions affect people and programs, the weight of that responsibility stays with you. My time at Allo gave me the chance to just reset, to think differently about growth, about process improvement, and how to scale an organization without chaos. When Ann Barnes, Senior Vice President and CFO for the University of Nebraska system, offered me the opportunity to return as Chief Operating Officer, I chose to bring the experiences I had here and all I had quickly learned to turn motivation into helping build a more stable and resilient future for our university. Every Saturday, I have the privilege of going on a run with my daughter. My favorite part of our run is always the conversation, and recently she asked, "Did you ever imagine where your degree would take you?" No, could have never imagined. But what I did understand then, and even more clearly now, is that a college degree gives you something deeper than a title or a paycheck. It gives you resilience. It gives you agency. It gives you the confidence to step forward when opportunity arises. You leave this place with knowledge, skills, and a degree that represents years of effort. But more than that, you leave with proof. Proof that you can do hard things. Proof that you can persist when the outcome is not guaranteed, and proof that you belong in rooms where ideas are challenged and possibilities are created. Your degree will not tell you exactly where to go next, but it will give you the freedom to choose. And when opportunity appears, I hope you raise your hand and you do not talk yourself out of the room. Do not wait, and I stress this, until you feel perfectly prepared. Along the way, remember that success is not a solo act. Stay connected to the people who ground you. Build bridges. The relationships you nurture will matter more than the roles you hold. And when the work gets hard, because it will, remember this day, remember that you earned the right to sit in a cold metal folding chair. You have already faced uncertainty and self-doubt, and you made it here. Take pride in what you've earned. Carry forward the resilience that brought you to this day. Use your education, in the words of Dr. Bisek, to not just make a living, but make a difference. To serve, to lead, and to leave things better than you found them. And I close with the words of Brad Moline, the president and CEO and founder of Allo Communications, a University of Nebraska graduate. When he called to thank me for my time at Allo, he left me with a simple charge, one I pass on to you: go do great things.
John, on behalf of our graduates and the entire UNK community, thank you, and our best wishes always. And now we have arrived at that special moment, the conferring of degrees. We will begin with the awarding of the graduate degrees. Candidates for the graduate degrees will be presented by Dr. Megan Adkins, Interim Dean of Graduate Studies.
Good morning. Will the candidates for graduate degrees please rise? Chancellor Snor, these students have fulfilled all the requirements established by the Board of Regents for their respective graduate degrees. Therefore, the graduate faculty recommends that these candidates be granted the graduate degree along with the privileges and responsibilities that accompany the degree.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska, and on the recommendation of the faculty of the University of Nebraska at Kearney, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate graduate degree and admit you to all the rights, honors, privileges, and obligations. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated.
Lauren Ann Stevens. Mitchell J. DeHaan. John Edward Clintworth. Zachary Lozano Sainer. Rebecca Lynn Tresick. Joanna Bell Utterback. Leah Nicole Appleby. Susan Joanne Bartman. Reed Thomas Bednar. Ryan Beamer. Abigail Lynn Bister. Lauren Elizabeth Byers. Jamie Sue Shingren. Marjorie Mones Damatog. Jessica De La Torre. Caleb Andrew Freeland. Ashley Korth. Jacqueline Renee Kroll. Jeanette Martinson. Shannon McDonald. Cameron Jane McPhillips. Jillian Marie Montoya. Alyssa Novotny. Jennifer Renee Ostin. Holly K. Oreda. Melissa Michelle Presser. Kara Jean Schutz. Leanne Ramirez. Cassandra Ann Sund. Mari Carmen Vasquez. Leighton Ware. Amanda K. Buckwalter. James Philip Green. Stacy Noel Hoyle Buss. Lindsay Ann Johnson. Rita Nenene Oparat Aocha. Elizabeth Ann Priner. Allison Richardson. Drew Amon. Samantha K. Clark. Hope Lynn Edmonds. Tiana Marie Gibb. Sarah Elizabeth Hansen. Jennifer Ann Hollabaugh. Grace Irene Kuselek. Paula Esther Noriega Rivera. Jamie Lynn Roberts. Hannah Lee Stroop. Noah V. Tillman. Chelsea Turek. Christina Collins Wyatt. Hannah Rose Zimmerman. David James Brewster. Maritza Lucia Calmo Martin, Nicholas Youngman, Brittany Marie Kalkowski, Olivia Denise Lawless, Kelsey Denise Christine Logeman, Logan Edward Lovejoy, Roger L. Middleton, Edwin Salas, Brett Steinke, Garner Wilson, Matthew John Winter, J.C. Wooters,
Chancellor Schnorr, these are the recipients of our graduate degrees. Will all of you please join me in extending our congratulations to them?
Congratulations, graduates. Dr. Julie Schaefer, Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees please rise? Chancellor Schnorr, I am happy to present to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees in their specialized areas. They have completed all the requirements for the degrees as prescribed by the University of Nebraska at Kearney and the Board of Regents. It is the recommendation of the faculty that they be granted their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska and on the recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon each of you the baccalaureate degree and admit you to the fellowship of educated men and women with all of its rights, honors, privileges, and obligations. Graduates, will you please stay standing? I also invite everyone in the audience or on stage who graduated from UNK or Kearney State to also stand at this time. The turning, stay standing please. The turning of the tassel is a time-honored tradition symbolizing the transition from candidate to graduate. It is a privilege well earned. Graduates, please turn your tassels. Congratulations to each of you. Please be seated.
Genesis Celeste Acosta Garcia. Kelly Cabarcas. Ikram Mohammed Dodd. Juliana Nicole Schmitz. CJ Glenn Trappier. Ariana Marai Clark. Tyra Bowman. Haley Lynn Blackstone. Kelly Blecky. Ella Colleen Breitkreitz. Nevea Navai. McKenna Chelsea Butts. Timotea Sea Martinez. Delaney Joelle Schote. Jacqueline Cruz. Allison Jane Deal. Grace Lynn Desmond. Emma Dowhauer. Kerrigan Elliott. Emily Marie Flowers. Akirike Friday Gibson. Zane Thomas Grizzle. Cuauhtemoc de Jesus Molina. Sunain Cheku. Hannah Hafer. Brandon Michael Hollister. Emily Jensen. Samrachana Kandal. Nicole Lynn Kotwitz. Ana Laguna Sanchez. Jill Lemko. Christina Jean Lively. Lourdes Lopez Aguirre. Brittany Renee Loth. Jovan David Marsh. Jordan McCaba. Daniel Omar Medina. Dana Leanne Mavis. Annabelle Murphy. Anustin Odermatt. Alexander Dean Peters. Isabella Prado Gomez. Hannah Jade Reeve. Catherine Olivia Roberg. Brandy Rouse. Darren Sasman. Ellery Jet Simpson. Rayleigh Smith. Bailey Carmen Spangler. Jade Springer. Tyler Michael Stevens. Bryce Sutton. Darcy Elizabeth Taylor. Elena Virgilio Francisco. Tessa Rose Vivleka. Rebecca Ann Wooters. Jules Zeeler. Riley T. Baker. Maya E. Bartman. Heather King. Natalie Eubanks. Teresa Minnick. Ryan Lee Sykes. Jasmine Natalie Valdovinos. Reese Norman Anderson. Richard Stanley Harbles. Abraham Eliseo Lopez Ramirez. Victoria Umama Wuleninor Nimne. Elizabeth Louise Arnold. Darian Lopez Alvarez. Masato Sugita. Tetsuito Tsutsumi. Join me in welcoming Dr. James Vaugh to the stage to read the names of the college officials.
Please join me in recognizing the graduates from the College of Business and Technology. Jimin Che. Isabel Grace Rich. Agudamu Agudamu. Newell Ahmed. Jack Albert Ashwig. Paige Alexis Au. Haley Elizabeth Bayer. Trace Jackson Barker. Israel Alfonso Bautista. Sadie Michelle Berkey. Joshua Michael Bogus. Tariro Chinhamo. Connor Dean Clevenger. Nathan John Engel. Danielle Megan Fadig. Kaylee Marie Flore. Leonardo Flores. Carlos Gabriel Galindo. Zane Gardner. Kane Douglas Hampton. Keosuke Hara. Eva Susan Heidelk. Jenna Ruth Heidelk. Connor Ray Hibbard. Curtis Franklin Horton Jr. Jack Robert Johnson. Caitlin Cherie Carr. Shintaro Kawasaki. Alyssa Marie Klochek. Jotaro Kuwayama. Hannah Marie Merez. Jackson Blake Margheim. Wyatt Warren Marr. Carson Glenn Mercer. Colin J. Miller. Macy Janae Miller. Megan Lynn Mortensen. Kaiohei Nakamura. Cade Nolan. Nolan Olafson. Cheyenne Parlier. Delaney Prawley. Levi Michael Reese. Brenda Marisol Rodriguez. Derek Tadeo Rojas. Slock Saw. Zane T. Shawang. Clara Rose Schindler. Reagan May Schneider. Elizabeth Maria Schaefer. Blake Ryan Smith. Mackenzie Lee Smith. Cadence Elizabeth Spiegel. Ebony J. Shugru. Courtney Joe Swisher. Haruka Takamichi. Kristen Tamayo. Ivan Alexis Varela. Kyle Ward. Mana Yamoto. Isaac Anderson. Invite Dr. Chris Jacobs to read the names of the graduates for the College of Education.
Bonjour, buongiorno, buenos dias. I'm CJ from Modern Languages and International Studies, and today I have the pleasure of announcing the College of Education graduates' names. And as they're still getting up here, I would like to say congratulations to all COE and other graduates. At Modern Languages, we like to stay with the times. So, to all the COE and other baddies, you slay, you cooked, you ate, you left no crumbs. We're so proud of you. Applause for them and all our other graduates, please. Thank you. Karina Adame Dimas. Aileen Mairani Alarcón. Cheyenne Leah Anglin. Abby Nicole Arndt. Sarah Bailey. Joshua Quinton Bean. Corinne Rhiannon Lee Benson. Rhiannon, sorry. Megan Marie Benton. Alexis K. Billiter. Ariana Karis Bishop. Paige Morgan Seller. Kyla Ann Kramer. Heather Michelle Crawford. Jeffrey Cunningham. Mallory K. Daly. Isaiah Daniel. Samantha L. Dye. Josie Marie Dowse. Teresa Lynn Fahrenholtz. Sydney Marie Fisher. Abigail Elaine Fisk. Isabella Cassandra Frazier. Ella Ann Keyshaw. Lillian M. Lam. Haley Lon Lundfall. Brooklyn Marie Magzamin. Haley Marie Mulring. Samantha Jo Moore. Olivia S. Nelson. Holly Nienheiser. Delaney Mary Ulmer. Kimberly Ann Nobles. Kaylee News. Elizabeth Pedro. Jennifer Deanne Peterson. Anna Lynn Powers. Noelle Elizabeth Richmond. Tracy Lynn Rorick. Samantha Jo Skemper. Gavin Douglas Sheen. Tatum L. Smith. Stony Elizabeth Stratman. Savannah Michaela Turgeon. Mariah Jane Watts. Gabrielle Paige Werner. Jennifer Christine Wood. Brody Patrick Arentz. Benjamin J. Bacon. Carter Bowes. Calvin Douglas Camplin. Claire E. Conilio. Josh Davies Balogun. Corey Dolan. Bryce D. Hanna. Isaiah Jordan Harris. Skylar Leanne Moe. Caitlin K. Newton. Hope Lynette Nienheiser. Rebecca Alvana Paulson. Aliana Grace Peterson. Jennifer Baribia Peña. Congratulations, felicitación, enhorabuena to everyone.
Chancellor Schnorr. These are the baccalaureate graduates. Will all of you please join me in extending our congratulations?
Graduates, each of you is leaving a legacy at UNK. As alumni, remember, our doors are always open to you. Stay engaged with us, visit us often, and continue to add to our legacy. Those of you who weren't here for summer commencement, I've added a new tradition, and you need to be full participants in this part of the program. We give standing ovations for lots of things these days, and I think every graduate on their graduate day should receive an ovation that they won't forget. Will you please rise and help me give them a Loper send-off that they will never forget?
Thank you, Chancellor, and thanks to all of you for attending today's ceremony. Audience, please remain seated until the recessional has been completed. University Marshal and student gonfaloniers, please prepare for the recessional. Will the stage party please stand? And please begin the recessional.